All right, guys, welcome back into the first NFL Showdown video. Going to be going over the Chiefs and Houston game here for you. Going to be an interesting one. Kind of just want to go over the basics of it. So, really, my goal is to try to find the lowest price captain spot that you can that's going to outdo their salary. So sometimes that's even a $600 play on DraftKings. Sometimes it's a $200 play. I know just going back to last year with the Kansas City Chiefs, it was Byron Pringle thinking like week. I'm going to pull it up here. So just pull it up. So that's Carter. Let me pull it up because they still have last year's game logs. So it was when they're all banged up. Yeah, I was on the Patreon page at the time, and I had told people, I'm like, hey guys, I've seen on film Byron Pringle's popping a little bit. He's had a couple of touchdowns called back. Don't be surprised if he goes off. And he was $200 in the captain spot that day. Or maybe that's just a regular flex. For the captain spot, it was probably like $800. Either way, that ended up being a really solid week. That strategy tends to work more times than not because the reason why you do that strategy is to try to hit as many studs in your lineup as you can. So pretty much you want to try to fit Mahomes. You want to try to fit Deshaun Watson in there. What's up, Jeff? Hey, happy to see you in the NFL DFS videos as well, man. Appreciate that. I do have the little chat feature going as well. So, but yeah, Byron Pringle, not playing him today, but I just kind of want to point out that point. It's like you got to try to find the lowest captain that you can and then go from there. Because obviously we do want to fit Mahomes, Watson, Hill, Kelsey, Edwards-Helaire, and even probably David Johnson. You know, those are going to be your starting points today. But to get there, you have to fill in with the correct starters. So for me, it's going to be three people. It's either going to be Kenny Stills because it looks like Brandon Cooks is going to be out. We'll pull up that news real quick. So it's going to be a game time decision. He kind of thinks that he is going to play. We'll have to see about that. So if he doesn't play, I do really like Kenny Stills. 4.6 in the captain spot. We saw him, be successful last year. It's really hit or miss with him, but obviously if he scores a touchdown or catches a couple deep balls, he's going to get there. I don't mind that call, but if you don't play Kenny Stills, I almost think that you have to play Randall Cobb. Randall Cobb can catch a few passes and just hit value there. Really, to hit value, you want that captain spot to 2x. So, Randall Cobb at that price point, I don't mind. Nicole Hardman, Jeff, I could see it. I could definitely see it. I don't know. I just worry about his price point, and I can even do a build here, and I'll show you what I mean by that. It's hard to make the rest of the build work if you put him in there. Do you like Darren Fells a decent amount as well? It's kind of going to be a sneaky play there. I just kind of have more of a feeling about it. Obviously, the last game that he played the Chiefs, he had 11.2, which is pretty solid. And I believe, did they play twice? No, they did not, but he did really come on at the end of the year last year. Obviously saw 7 targets. We're not asking for a lot from him here. It's just one catch trying to get lucky there. That's really what you're trying to do down here at the captain spot. And obviously you could always just go with like Texans D. Texans D did decent against them. 7 DK points. If they do that tonight in the captain spot, that's not going to kill you. Really, you're just trying to, once again, make it work. So I'll just do a dummy build in there. Like, let's say Darren Fells. Let's say I like that. Then you can try to fit Pat Mahomes in there, Deshaun Watson in there, Tyreek Hill. Then you're going to be, capped with salary. So I'll put David likes DJ as his captain. I could see that. It's cheap. It's hard to make everything else work. Then I want to go Kenny Stills here, and then we're strapped. So probably have to go with one of the kickers here. That's not a horrible build. Obviously, I don't like it too much. You're really trying to bet that Tyreek Hill is going to be the one that scores some touchdowns, and then that, Deshaun Watson's touchdowns are going to go to Kenny Stills. So I don't know. This is not a slate that I want to attack too much just because the lineup path is not there. There's going to be some really easy showdown slates throughout this season. There was a few last year. I think there was 2 on the Thanksgiving Day slate where it was just so easy to see who was going to produce. Just given the salaries that, I attacked that one pretty aggressively. I know in the Super Bowl was one that I attacked pretty aggressively just because, who was it? The fullback, Kyle Juszczyk, was so mispriced, and then everyone else kind of hit as well. So that was a pretty successful showdown slate as well. But I'm going to try to make a couple builds here for you guys as well, just kind of going over the lineup path. You got to know what you're trying to do, really. I know a safe build for me would be to try to get both running backs in there and maybe even all 3 of them. And what I mean by that would be obviously Clyde Edwards-Helaire. It'd be Duke Johnson and also David Johnson. Houston's going to win this game. Super Bowl hangover is real. Maybe. Does the Super Bowl hangover count this year, though, David? It's kind of, I think everyone's got a little bit of a hangover just because of all the stuff that was happening. Maybe. I get it. I don't know. It's just a weird year for sure. But yeah, let me try to make this build. Sorry. Getting excited. So I do think Cobb is kind of like the safest captain's pick, but I'm going to try to even go lower here. I'm going to go with, let's go with Buckner. I think, he's probably going to get 7 real life points. That'd probably be 11 DK points in the captain spot. I hate that when it does that. Let's do it again. All right. So let's try to fill in. I'm going to put both of the running backs in there and then also Duke Johnson because I do think Duke Johnson is not going to go away. He's going to get involved in the passing game still. Now, David Johnson's going to get a majority of the work. And heck, I'm going to be so pissed off if someone accidentally clicks Duke Johnson instead of David Johnson tonight. It's going to happen. But I'll pull up David Johnson. So whether it was a motivation thing last year or an injury thing, you could tell that he was just not in it. Just based on the film, that famous play of him giving up on a toss play, I believe it was, where he just kind of limped to the freaking line of scrimmage. That's not going to be the David Johnson we see tonight. If Carlos Hyde and Lamar Miller the last few seasons could be fantasy relevant, David Johnson, I think, is in a much better position to be fantasy relevant than those two. Even at David Johnson's worst last year, I think he was better or just as good as those two like we've seen in the last few years. So David Johnson, I do like him as a play at that price point. Then Duke Johnson, it's David Johnson again. And then Duke Johnson I do like as well, just for his price point. It's not too hard for us to imagine him getting 4 targets, turning that into 40 yards, and then maybe 2 rushes for 20 yards. He'll probably be used as the third down back. I don't know. What do you guys think? He'll be used as a third down back? We'll wait and see. See, this is where I wish. Oh, so Dan is from the Patreon page. He knows the strategy pretty well about trying to fit in the lowest priced captain's pick that's going to hit value. He's asking about Darrell Williams. I'll get to that in a second. But yeah, Duke Johnson, I think 8-10 DK points is in the range for him. And then we can try to fit both the quarterbacks in here. Obviously, we're thinking it's going to be a grind out game. A little bit off on Deshaun Watson there. But let's say you do Patrick Mahomes, then you could do Tyreek Hill. This is a fine build. I don't mind it. Not horrible, not great. That's kind of going to be the theme. You kind of just got to stack it. Let's see. So Dan's kind of bringing up the point of Darrell Williams in the captain spot. So Darrell Williams is looking like the RB2 tonight for Edwards-Helaire. Edwards-Helaire does seem like he's going to be the number 1 running back, but let's just say we want to put him in there. We're going to take Clyde Edwards-Helaire out, and then you could fit Deshaun Watson. So that's kind of the point. So on a normal day, this is kind of the strategy that we would go with because, Darrell Williams just needs 1 random goal line touchdown to hit value, which he did a decent amount last year in games that he got the opportunity to. It could happen. Obviously, this is a much better build than the last one we made, but I don't know. I just don't want to go that route tonight. I definitely get the approach there. It's just, I was looking through it, and he was the only one that you could play in the captain spot that you could potentially get away with. And I don't see it. I think the lowest I'd want to go is honestly Texans defense. Sometimes you can get lucky with the defense. Maybe they get a random touchdown on a turnover or even freaking special teams, and then you're good to go. So I do want to do 2 stacks. So I'll do 2 stacks here for you guys, and then I'll wrap it up and get out of here. So 1 with the Houston side and then 1 with the Kansas City side. So we'll get into that here real quick. All right, clear it out. So what do you guys think about this Showdown slate? Because me personally, before I get into the build, I don't really like this one. I don't know. It's going to be fun to watch. It's going to be great to watch. I know a lot of you guys are here from the PGA DFS videos. I'm kind of more in tune to that, having a pretty good week going right now for that. But I don't know. This one is just kind of going to be fun to watch, but it's really hit or miss. There's nothing I can hang my hat on where the Monday night games and Sunday night games I'm looking forward to. Those are going to be a little bit better than this one. This one's kind of just crazy. Will Fuller should be a decent play. He could catch a deep ball or 2, maybe. I expect him to actually be kind of shut down because that's all it is. What's up, Fulton? You put Sammy in. I want to know, who was it? Who are you trying to go with? Was it Sammy or someone else? And tell me why. So Fulton's here. You guys might have known him from a couple of the podcasts that we did. Didn't get a chance to do the Jacksonville Jaguars podcast with him, but we touched on the Packers, I believe it was, and a few other ones. Happy to see you in here, man. Yeah, let's do the KC stack. So, all right, so I'm going to go Buckner, get the kicker in there, because if we're saying that, the Chiefs are going to score, then we just want to get the kicker in there as well. So, going to get bold here. It's going to be a pass-heavy game. And if it's going to be a pass-heavy game, then we got to get the other side of the ball in there now too. They're going to be throwing a lot. You got Cobb. I can't get to Fuller. 100 off Fuller. This would be a pretty darn good build if we could get up to Fuller. Oh, that's so close. But let's just switch it up here. Oh, that sucks. So you could go Kenny Stills. Leave a little bit of salary left over if you want to do it. I don't mind that. This would be an okay stacking lineup. Nothing special here. That's kind of the theme tonight. It's just you're not going to have a build that you feel comfortable with, a build that you want to attack, too much. All right, let me do the Houston side of the ball here, and then I'll wrap it up. And just for some of you guys that are 9 to 5 members on the page, I am going to put my actual build out there on the page here right after this video. Once I get all my thoughts processed here about the most optimal lineup, I will say to you guys right now, I do think it's going to be 2 running backs, 2 quarterbacks, and filling in with the kickers. Yeah, Jordan Atkins, yes and no. I get the play. I do. 2 tight end sets. For him to hit value, he really just needs to catch like 1 pass of 30 yards. So I definitely get the play, especially in the captain spot there. I don't know. It's just tough. I don't see that. I'd rather just go Texans defense, maybe get a couple points there. There's nothing great. I will say, I want to see Buddy Howell get some touches. He is a pretty good pure rusher. He sucks at everything else, though. Just a really good, he has really good vision and burst, but that's all he's got going for him. I was hoping the time would come this year for him to get some carries. That didn't happen, obviously, with the David Johnson trade. All right, Houston side of the ball, and we'll wrap it up. So I'm going to go Forbath, Cobb, Dave Johnson, Will Fuller, Watson, and then you could go Mahomes. Not a bad build, honestly. This one makes a ton of sense. Let's make sure it's David Johnson. All right, it is. This build makes a ton of sense. Maybe if you don't want to go David Johnson, you could probably fit you couldn't fit Clyde Edwards-Helaire in there. It's a little bit off. Not horrible, though. Go down from there. Put Sammy Watkins in there for Fulton if he likes that play. I don't know, Sammy Watkins is really hit or miss. I don't mind that. Watson loves using Atkins in the red zone, though. The tight end play I get a ton. If you're trying to free up some salary, that would be probably the route to go today. I don't know. I want to see it first. This offense is going to look a little bit different with, obviously, DeAndre Hopkins out. I do think they'll use the tight ends a lot more, and that's kind of why I started out the video with saying I like Darren Fells a ton for, the captain spot, but if you're trying to punt a little bit more, you could go down to Atkins. Don't mind it. All right, I do want to make one more build just on the live stream here real quick, just to see what it looks like. So, double kickers. What is that? Probably going to be 12 points there. It's nothing great, but I'll show you guys why. Oh, the pain, man. They did a good job of pricing it. This would probably be my optimal build if I could do it, but it's 100 off. That's the pain that they got for us. I'll pull it up here, guys. So this is the build that I like the most tonight, but it's 100 off. 100 off here. Double kickers, Patrick Mahomes, Deshaun Watson, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and David Johnson. Don't think Sammy is even listed on the depth chart. How is he not listed on the depth chart? Let's pull up the notes. It was because he was injured earlier. Interesting. But yeah, it's an interesting one. I I would just play, don't really play too much tonight, guys. I would say, play this game, play this tonight to have fun and enjoy the game. It's going to be a fun game. Maybe stack it. Kind of like how I showed you guys, but pick and choose your spots. Don't go too crazy with it. Hey, if it's going, let's say it is going to be low scoring. Let's just say it is. That's why I kind of keep trying to, that's kind of my point with the Texans defense. You could fit them in there. You could fit Chiefs defense in there. Then you could fit Mahomes, Watson in there if you wanted to. You could fit a running back in there. It really opens your build. So, let's say it is going to be a defensive struggle. This would be it. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be, but this would be the path. By defensive struggle with these two quarterbacks, I mean 24 to 27, which for them would be kind of a struggle. It's just so many paths to go with. It's just not one that you want to attack showdown-wise. Now, if you're doing the full slate, and I will just mention this real quick, full slate, I don't mind going with Travis Kelce or Tyreek Hill. I won't go crazy with it. I do think David Johnson is at a good price point on the full slate. Yeah, so the injury thing too with Cooks, if Cooks actually plays, he's going to be super low owned on the slate. And I'm not saying that you should play him, but with how low ownership he's going to get, that'd be a nice way to try to gain an edge here. Nothing that you should actually target, but if he goes off and scores a touchdown, he's obviously going to be low, and that's kind of what you need to succeed in a showdown slate like this. Obviously, this is not one that I like too much, but that's going to be it. I hope you guys enjoyed this showdown video. They will be better as we come along. Like I said, Monday and Sunday nights showdown slates are a lot better than this one. This one's more for TV purposes. Kelce or Hill, Alex? I like Hill a little bit more. Obviously, those two are kind of hit or miss. It's really which way the defense likes to attack them. I'll pull them up here, though. So last time they played, obviously, 44 from Kelce. That's pretty crazy. I don't know. I like Hill a little bit more. That's a little bit of bias with me. I've had Hill in fantasy football a ton, so I think that's where it comes from. But I would suggest trying to fit both of them in there, or just making two lineups, one with him, one without. That's what I would go with. But yeah, that's all I have for you guys tonight. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope the first game back is going to be good. I'm looking forward to it. For fantasy football purposes, I really only have Clyde Edwards-Helaire in one fantasy football league, so that's what I'm going to be rooting for tonight. And then hopefully the guys in the PGA DFS build can come through for the weekend. But all right, yeah, I got you in the comments there, David. So yeah, good luck to everyone here. Thanks for joining the chat. Fulton prefers Hill as well. So it's Hill. We're going with Hill, so it's definitely going to be Travis Kelce. Just kidding. But hope you guys had a good stream. All right, let's go. Let's have a good week. All right, we're out. And as always, guys, let's keep cashing. I guess for the first NFL slate to be let's start cashing, I guess, since